Who gave her a mic? Who gave her a mic? Podcast. Who gave her a mic? Podcast. From reality to spilling tea. Seriously, who gave her a mic?
Oops, I was singing. Welcome back to my podcast. I'm Melissa.
And I'm Alex.
We're just two millennial moms who have too much to say about reality TV. I feel like I need to come up with a new intro because it's starting to sound robotic. But today we're covering Love Island USA Season 7, episodes 27, 28, and 30. Yeah, as much as we can cover of it because
It's been boring. All the fun has been sucked out of the villa.
I think I checked out when we did the major elimination on episode 27, and we lost all TJ, and Jaden.
So we lost all the pasta people basically, and TJ.
When Taylor was there, and they're like, "You can pick one." I thought, here we go. This is it. And also, why were those three in the bottom? Those girls. Did I miss something?
The producers rigged it. They had to. But you know what, though? I don't even know if it was rigged because, I know a lot of people still were voting for, Cierra and Chelley and stuff and, still on their bandwagon. And they call, Huda fans hood rats.
I've heard that. But I did finally listen to another podcast that did a recap, and they're about our age, so not that it matters, but she gave me a new perspective on the Chelley versus Huda debate. Mm-hmm. And she was saying that basically whenever there was challenges, Huda was within reason. She would say it's a challenge, okay, you can get Jeremiah, but you saw how she was acting, hiding in the corner, or you can get off my man now, do the back bend, whatever. And so it was very clear that Jeremiah was supposed to be hands off him or whatever. And then when it came down to the reverse, all of a sudden it was okay. And I was like,
my thing is that Chelley has blatantly said numerous times that they were closed off. So to me, she shouldn't have gotten mad. You knew Huda was about Jeremiah. She made those boundaries pretty clear.
Yeah.
You didn't have those boundaries, Chelley. You didn't have them. I'm sorry.
That's
you just
true.
didn't.
Not closed off, not have boundaries. That's true.
I can guarantee you if they were closed off, Huda would have never pulled Ace. And again, I only think that she pulled him because she knew Chris was going to pull Chelley. So I think it would have honestly looked weird if Huda had pulled another dude instead of just pulling the couple, which made sense in a common sense mind. I would have probably pulled Ace too if I was in that situation, because then he's not seeing what Chris and Chelley are doing. He's not, staring at him. You know what I mean? I feel like that was actually a girl thing to do.
Oh, for sure. I understood why she pulled Ace, but then I also was like, okay, I can understand. And the other thing she was bringing up too was that back when she started talking to Pepe, she didn't say anything to Hannah until she got called out, and then she was like, "Oh, I didn't even think," and she backtracked. She talked to Hannah, and she had the quote unquote excuse about I don't know how to do this. I've never done this. Had to pull people for chats before. I didn't know I should talk to you, so now I'm talking to you. And then the same thing happened with Chris, where she started talking to Chris and having a connection with Chris. Didn't say anything to Chelley until all of a sudden they're like, everybody's going back to the villa, and then she pulled Chelley and was like, "Oh."
I completely understand that one. The Chris one, I just feel like the Hannah one was probably a mistake because she didn't she hadn't really been doing that. But I really just feel like we didn't see enough footage. I just feel like maybe they did have a conversation, because I didn't know JD was into Amaya. That one threw me off. All of a sudden we come back next episode and he was into her, and I was like, what? Rewind.
It's switched after Huda was
no, after she basically left that the fire pit or whatever, because he said something stupid. Because he's everyone's making fun of him too. He's like, "Hey, are you dominant? He's dominant." And I was so laughing. But I'm just
There's all a whole thing going around. There's like, yeah, memes going around about it.
Well, I mean, how you again, that was pretty dumb on your part, but it felt like it was just so weird that he was like super into Huda, and then that conversation happened, and then all of a sudden that he was into Amaya. It confused me because I'm like, okay, we're not seeing a lot. So I just feel like and again, I still feel like Chelley did not have a leg to stand on. I really felt like Chelley just wanted Chris to chase her, which he wasn't going to do because she was all over Ace the second they went back to the villa. So he's not an idiot. Like,
Yeah.
he's not a little boy playing. This is the thing. So many girls I want to be chased. I want to be chased. I want to be chased. But why? Like, why do you want to be chased?
There's a level of being chased, and then there's a level of like that she's just not that into you. So it's like,
well,
you can
there's a level of chasing, but I feel like in this situation that there doesn't need to be, there's already games going on. Don't add to it, because it's like he made it very clear he was into you. Like he made it very clear from the get-go that he was interested. And what did you think? He was just gonna like follow you around like a puppy? Like, this love triangle, type of situation. And
figure out if she wanted to be with the Ace or not. Yeah.
And then he started developing real, attraction and feelings for Huda, which are valid. Huda's an awesome person. Like now that she's
together, I think.
Yeah, now that he's calm, I mean, she's calm and like, doing her thing and stuff. She's like a completely different person. And I do think that they complement each other very well.
Yeah, I'm really happy that they explored that, for lack of a better term.
Sometimes you need someone, if you're a fire
down a lot, like in a good way. Yeah, like an irrational, like, just
well, and what she said at the recoupling too, on last night's episode was like really very, very heartfelt. Very, very heartfelt. It was everyone else was stupid, but hers was very, very
out sometimes.
Well, because most of them are all new, so it was dumb. But hers was so heartfelt because it seemed like definitely wasn't rehearsed. He even said like he felt like something when she said that, because when you're when you're actually real with somebody and you get those feelings reciprocated to you, it feels great. It feels great to have somebody who accepts you for who you are, doesn't judge you, but helps you, doesn't. And then he said the same thing about her. He said that she opens my eyes and makes me think of things in a different light. So I do think if two people were to come out of this show and do really good together, I think
they will too. I think they had a conversation because he was talking about his basketball.
Definitely not baseball.
I got baseball in the brain. His basketball traveling.
He travels overseas
out of the year, which honestly I don't think that's a big deal. You think like, oh well, he's gone for. There's no reason that Huda and her daughter or Huda couldn't go visit him for a week.
Right, yeah.
But he was already kind of like on that mind of, is it time to quit? Is it time to go? And I'm wondering if she contributes to that. Like he's like, finally, like I found a girl I really like. Is it time to start thinking about settling down?
Well, and again, I think when you find that in somebody, I do think it's rare, because I feel like so many people nowadays are just so fake. Like not just women, but also men too. And I said something because A and I were talking the other day, and I'll say something like offline about it because I don't need this like. But it was interesting because we didn't talk for like a few days, which is completely abnormal. Usually we're talking constantly, but I was just on Friday. I don't think I've been here in a really I was a volcano, and I don't think I've been that since I was like in my 20s because of what Kay did. My level of anger was just like, but he took every insult. I will say that I threw at him. So kudos to him on that one, because I was lighting into him. But A and I were talking, and he said, I remember he said something because he's obviously everyone's been in a toxic relationship at some point. But he said that, he sent me a reel, and it was something like a toxic ex would do. And I said, I laughed because I thought it was funny, and I was just like, I don't need to like do all that. I said a joke, and then he said, my ex did that, and she also took all the remotes from his house. So yeah, which honestly was so diabolical because you can't watch.
That reminds me of those, like, if you broke into someone's house, what would you do just to irritate them? Like flip all the light switches around, or like steal all the remotes? Yeah.
So she stole all the remotes, which honestly, I said that I laughed and I said that was diabolical. Like that was hilarious that she did that. And then he said something. Oh, he destroyed. She destroyed his credit, right? Like destroyed it. Yeah, like really bad, right? And then
together, or did she just have his information?
No, they were like together, not like married, but they were together. They lived together. They have a son together. Well, she's not involved anymore with the son. He's like me with my youngest. We're both solo parents.
Okay.
So no help. And, I mean, he has like his mom and stuff. So like when he has to do tattoos, for long periods of time, he goes, to his grandma's house or his grandfather's house. But yeah, I have no help here. I'm in a sea by myself. I know, right? But I said, I don't need to be that level of petty because you know what you have when you have me, because I give you everything. I will die for you. Mm-hmm. I will legitimately die for you when I'm in a relationship with you because I love that hard and I am that loyal. I said, so the people that lost me, they know what they lost. Like that, I don't need to be petty because me walking away from you is going to be the biggest mistake that you've ever made.
Yeah.
Like you ruining that. And I know Kay feels it for sure. Like the amount of things that I did for him just like far surpasses anything that I've done because I haven't been with somebody for that long. But and then he said noted, like okay, I get on that one. Like, yeah, I mean that's just you can throw money at people. You can I don't care what you have. I don't care what you own. Like a relationship is about respect, and I will give you all of me, every inch of you that I can, that I don't give to my kids. But if you can't and I know my worth, you know what I mean? Then that's, I feel like
both ways in any relationship, romantic, platonic, it really.
It does. And I feel like that's what's getting so lost this season is that it just feels like friendship or situationship island. And it's like, I hope Huda and Chris win because they seem like they would genuinely do well on the outside because they complement each other. And she was able to. I
feel like they equally fill into each other's cups. Like, I don't feel like it's a one. And I can see it in the, however much editing we get. So I can only imagine out in the real world.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's going to go through things. Look, life is not perfect. Relationships are not perfect. Marriages are not perfect. They're far from it. But it's how you choose to work on those problems together that keep you together longer. If you don't know how to do that, then you shouldn't be with anyone. You shouldn't be in a relationship because if you can't learn how to be a team, then you need to be alone because that is what a relationship is. It is a teamwork. It is a team effort, no matter what.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. But I do like them as a couple, and I hope they go far.
Well, I mean, we only have 5 days.
Well, so I was trying to think okay, so today's Monday. We have Monday night, Tuesday night, and then we have
Thursday, Friday, and that's
Friday.
it. And then Sunday.
With 5 more. I don't know. I know tonight they're doing the babies.
Mm-hmm.
But beyond that, the parents.
I don't know what else they can show. I'll be perfectly honest with you. I don't understand bringing in the families. They're not doing a movie night. They've come out and said they're not doing a movie night.
Ariana said there's no movie night and they're doing one more recoupling, but that was on Saturday. So Sunday last night.
Sunday was the recoupling.
So
we have our final couples, I believe. But the families just they're useless to me because everyone's leaving in 5 days. Why would you even bring the parents? That just doesn't make any sense to me.
I don't know.
Maybe Huda, because she probably wants to see her daughter. I don't even think she would care to see really anyone else. She's probably the only person I think that would want to actually see someone. Other than that, I mean, Like, oh, I mean, I keep forgetting about Ace and Chelley, but like no one likes them anymore. So like they're not gonna win.
They're obsolete. And now Cierra's gone, so they yeeted her in the night or in the day. Cierra has left the villa.
Someone said at least they let her get dressed first.
Yeah, right. I keep seeing all the new
fact
ones.
that you can hear her yelling, like she was so mad. But you know what's funny is she's gonna be even more pissed when she finds out what she got kicked out for, because they're in quarantine for 2 days. She still doesn't have her phone.
Yeah, her parents posted or something.
Yeah, they did.
They were like, go easy on her because she hasn't seen any of this.
Look, I don't think you should be saying death threats to people. That's a little ridiculous.
Or their family. Like that's just
like, come on, guys. Like, oh, did you hear that people were calling CPS on Huda? Yeah.
Why?
I don't know, because people are crazy. People are crazy online. They were legitimately calling CPS on Huda while first of all, she's in the villa. She's not. Do you guys understand how CPS works? She needs to be in the care of the parent that's doing the wrong while you're on set. But people were calling CPS on her because, and that's somebody else came out and was like, this isn't Love Island anymore. Like, you guys are ruining it for the OG people because
they're just trying to go out and find any way to get rid of these people now. Like, they're
it's like what who was left on the island? All the dudes? That's about it.
Yeah, that's all we've got. Like, really. And then like I know people were trying to find footage of Huda saying racial slurs, like that she was singing a song or something. But
and you can literally there was like a bunch of different creators who were like, I'm allowed to say that word. It was so funny. And they were going up to her mouth and like zooming in, and you could see she just leaves her mouth open. She does not say the word. She literally doesn't say it at all. Like, if you go and watch it, I watched it like 100 times.
Yeah.
She does not say it. She just leaves her mouth open instead of closing it. But on all the other videos that she does, whenever that word is said, she's always covering her mouth or doing something. Just in that video, she hadn't, which is respectful. Like, I'm sorry, but as somebody who is, you can obviously tell her nationality, she's not going to be saying a slur. Like,
I don't think she's that like ignorant either to do that.
No, well, I mean, I
don't want to call anyone ignorant.
I didn't think really Cierra was either, but I feel like, again, I think it's culture. I think it's how you grow up, and that's what I mean by Huda's nationality. Those things are probably not said in that household. Versus if you live here in America, a lot of those words you hear at school, you hear all the time. You know what I mean? Like, it's repeated because it's a normal thing here. Not saying it's the right thing, but it is a normal thing when you live here, especially in California.
My son was playing with some neighborhood kids, and he came home asking what some of these words, or that word was, the N word. And I was like, you're 8. Like, in my head, like, you're 8 years old. And I was like, it's a word that people, I explained, like, it's not it's not a nice word. If you hear that, you need to tell me or tell them, But around here, I've heard it used so flippantly by white people so much. And I'm like, I think it's like I stepped into the Twilight Zone, because I'm just like, even in front of, like, we have just people just like, I have no words, because I'm just like, I cannot believe that they've grown up in a situation where they still think it's okay in 2025, that you still think it's okay to just drop that word like it's a hard R. It's not like a friend. It's like a hard R. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Yeah.
I really feel like too, I really feel like it's about like where you grow up or who you grow up around. And I do feel like, not necessarily as Americans, I feel like, especially like in California, you be hearing that word. I be hearing that word at Disneyland. Like, you know what I mean? That's really? Oh yeah, all the time. Yeah, of course. Like, from not white people, but
the appropriate party.
Yeah, the appropriate party.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, from the appropriate party.
Me think too, it's like, I don't really go around hearing like slurs for Mexicans too much. I've been called them before, but to me, it's like, I don't really take offense to it, I guess. I don't know, because you just don't. It's crazy because it's either like, it's always, the N word that's definitely like on the highest scale.
Yeah.
for, you know, other groups of people, not the actual group of people. But then you have, you
Well,
know,
it's like
things.
the version of the word too. Like
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
typically there's like, yeah, you know the
Yeah.
two, and it's like
Yeah.
the
No, there's
other.
like a friend version and not nice version.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like I feel like too with like Asian slurs, which again are kind of like, you know, Mexican Spanish slurs where you don't really hear them that often. But
Yeah.
what's crazy is that you do a lot of people do use those, like if you smoke and like your eyes go like, you know, or you know, if you're too drunk or something and you're like, you know, it's always used in those ways. And I feel like some people don't think they're as offensive because when people think of racial slurs, they think of the N-word, which is like the worst thing in the world that you can say if you are not that race. And I feel like
Yeah.
people don't take other slurs seriously because it's not as bad as this one. So sure, I can call you that. It's not that big of a deal. But in reality,
Or
it,
it's
I
not
mean, it
used
is.
within their peers is not big of a deal
Yeah. Well, I
too.
mean, like we used to say, you know, we used to, I mean, I still sometimes, you know, say like, you know, that's gay or whatever. And we
Oh
use
yeah.
that all the, there was every other sentence was like, was we said that when we were kids. Like that was not
Oh,
because
for
it
sure.
wasn't.
Like I still catch myself sometimes and I'm like, I don't, and I hear like kids still using it and I'm just like,
Yeah, and but it's not, and it's crazy because it's like what's funny is that the word gay was used is happiness. Like that was to express
yeah,
happiness way back in the day, and then it's been changed throughout time. So that's what's funny to me is that all of these words really like gay was never negative. Like it was meant to be you're gay, you're happy. Like that's what that word was. And then now it's just like you can't even say it in a sentence because people get mad. So it's, you know, it's, I feel like we've gotten, I don't want to say necessarily in certain instances, I do think that we've gotten soft because I feel like when we grew up, people said stupid things, but like I feel like we just, I don't know, we had skin in the game where we didn't take things to heart because
yeah.
it just wasn't like, it wasn't malice when somebody was making fun of you. Yes, everyone has bullies. I mean, I got bullied, but when somebody was like saying something, I really don't feel like it was so malicious as it is now where people just look for somebody to say something wrong and then you light into them like it, like they're a bonfire or
Like
something.
cancel culture and like
Yeah,
not that the words
it's
like
so
it's not that it's
frustrating.
okay, but yeah,
No, I'm not saying,
yeah,
you know, it's never okay to like demean it, but you know, when we were growing up and stuff, we said those things and it was never, you know, I don't know, because I guess we didn't have social media, but it was never just like, I mean, I never said the N-word, but our like racial slurs, but I meant like any of those things that people cancel someone for. When we were kids, that stuff was not looked at like it is now. You know,
yeah.
it's, and I just
With
feel like we're starting,
yeah,
yeah, we're going away from what's really important. Like we shouldn't be trying to cancel all these people just because they made a mistake and, you know, said something
like,
that they really shouldn't have,
I don't get
you know,
to like correct
because
it
I don't
or
feel like
realize
Sierra
that.
meant it maliciously.
Yeah,
I don't, she
I
didn't
think
mean
so
it
either.
in a bad
I
way.
think she was just kind of, I think, ignorant to
Yep.
the what it could entail or how it could offend somebody. And I don't think she probably still has no idea. And then I feel like,
No.
you know, someone's going to tell her and she's going to be like, but if that offends people,
Well, I mean,
offends people. I'm not trying to tell people what they are and aren't offended by, but like, I feel like she's going to be confused or not understand. But she hasn't been given a chance to like explain herself. Did Julissa ever come around and explain herself?
no, she did, but people just shot her out because they were just
I
like,
don't see her on my
because again, her word that she used is way worse. So she got immediately like just unfortunately for her slammed into that because of the word that she used. Which is funny because I think the way that she used it wasn't as bad as the way that Cierra used it. Like the way that Ulissa used it was the correct way to use it, and you could tell that she was referring to her man. She didn't mean it negatively, you know what I mean? Versus Cierra, where
referring to
how
her
she
eyes.
said it was meant to be a facial feature, you know what I mean? Like that was actually, you know, yeah, it was more derogatory, I suppose, but I hate the race and the stuff like that because I just feel like we're so I don't know if it's because we're more mature now and it's just like, do we really have to go there? Like I'm not, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like I understand like we're trying to be more aware of things, people and cultures, and like I'm okay with that. Like I don't feel like anybody. I'm trying to think of how to like proper way to say it, but like to go hunt down someone's Instagram to find a reason to get rid of them, I don't like.
Like scrolling through that many videos. She lost over 300,000 followers. She is going, and she just lost 2 best friends. She's going to be so confused. Like she's going to just be like, why is nobody talking to me? Like what happened? Obviously she's going to apologize. Like she's going to do that. But it's just like, you're not going to come back from this. You're not going to come back from it. Yeah, it's going to.
Like everybody kind of has to walk on eggshells because what might, like what you're saying, like what might not be something today in 5 years could be something. And then you have people who go back through social media and they find, this wall is pink. And then later down, pink is an offensive word. I'm like,
yep.
Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't at the time, not
I mean, it's just, it's
the wall and a racial slur, but like, metaphors.
No, it's true. No, what you're saying, it's like literally what you're saying is true. It's like the stuff that we said when we were kids was not offensive. It just wasn't. Nobody took it that way.
Everything was not so transparent back then too that it is now. And it's like you have to like, even sometimes when we're recording, I'm always just like thinking back, like, did I say something that I shouldn't have said or mean, or it just came off, or did it come off? Like sometimes I'm reading through or when I'm posting the videos on Instagram, I'm like, ooh, I'm not going to post that one, or should I? Well, or like the captions, like is the caption weird? It's just like because of those shorts are just little snippets in time. It's like if you don't have the whole
like brain,
like your STD thing, yeah, no,
saying positive, not negative.
The whole conversation, yeah, I was like that's
so
not
annoying. Oh my god.
And we couldn't take it down because it got a lot of views. I mean, I would take it down if you were like.
I know. Well, I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, I'm so glad that when we were kids, we didn't have the social media presence that we have now, because I feel like a lot of us are already negative, not negative. I don't want to say negative, but a lot of us don't like, there's a lot of our generation that do not want to have kids. That don't care to
raising.
Yeah, I know exactly. That's what I mean. Like, I feel like we just lived through so much as millennials that nobody really understands unless you've gone through 9/11 and you've gone through already a world war. You've got, we've been through COVID. You know what I mean? Like we keep hitting, Mario numbers and coins keep hitting the brick, and we're not stopping. Yeah, we're not stopping on like, what can we just be normal? Or the economy is trash. You know what I mean? Like it's just, I feel like at something's got to give. Something's got to give at some point, and I just feel like we should really stop with the cancel culture. Like people can't make a mistake anymore. Why are we being so sensitive about that? Like, again, if they're not saying it maliciously, like if I'm sorry, if I'm not watching a video of you beating the crap out of somebody and throwing rocks at them and then saying racial slurs, then I would believe you're racist. Otherwise, I think you're
for sure. Absolutely. Yeah.
Otherwise, I just think that you said something you shouldn't have because you didn't really think about it. There was no thought process. It's like my ADHD where I'm just like, sometimes I just say something instead of actually like really should have probably thought about it before I said it. That's the same thing what she didn't think about with that post. She thought she was being funny, and they did not think that she was being funny. Although someone like this Asian guy on TikTok came out and he said, I am no way, shape, or form offended by what Cierra said. He's like,
where people are just not like whatever. But then there's those people who are like, cancel her.
Yeah, what's funny is that the people who are upset by it are not even of that race.
They're Yulissa fans. Or not Yulissa fans, but like anti-Cierra fans, or like if you pulled Yulissa, you got to pull her. It's like the tit for tat thing. Like you got,
and everyone's like, "Oh, you pull Huda," because I'm like, bro, you guys need to stop. Like, just please, for the love of God, you're ruining this show. I don't even want to watch it anymore because of the people.
I'm having a hard time. I'm like, I'm hanging on. I didn't watch last night's episode. Shh. But I gathered.
Not like you missed anything.
I know. I get it. Yeah. I was like between Alex and Instagram. I was like, I think I know what happened. But
Miss Nick crying.
did he cry?
You could tell he was crying at some point. His eyes were pretty. His eyes were red enough to not be like.
Well, I'm sure that's hard to. Like.
Yeah, and then I'm sorry. In the same 24 hours, homeboy goes to Elandria. So, do you really think that this is the start of our love story? Maybe Elandria said that, but I was like,
no, they're just hanging out.
Real dog. Like, if you cared, someone was like, I guess. So TJ came out and was like, he said that he defended Iris because they were like, why didn't Iris leave with you? Blah, blah, blah. And he said the producers wouldn't let Iris leave.
That makes
they
sense.
Wouldn't let her leave. And then someone was like, no, if you really want to leave the show, you can leave the show, blah, blah. And then, but in the back of my mind, I was thinking, if Iris left, they cannot just bring a random ass bombshell in because we have 5 days left. So if you took Iris out, that would have only left 4 girls. That would have left 5 girls. They usually have 6. They're going to eliminate another couple because they usually have 5 at the finales. I think it's like 5, 4 or 5 or something like that. But I'm like, if you take away Iris, you're taking another boy away. So, it was just like there was going to be too many people. They all suck anyway. So it's just like.
I wondered, she mentioned like they had only been together for 3 days. They had only gotten to know each other for 3 days. So I was like, maybe, she's feeling it out. Like, we're not that.
TJ said she wanted to leave, but the producer said no. So, but now I'm like, she has a connection with Pepe. I don't know. I can't wait for this to be over because then I really want to see the aftermath of this situation because I'm just so curious. Yeah, I'm just so curious to see what's going to happen because right now I just want it to end. That's how much I dislike this season.
I want to know what is going to happen with Cierra when she gets her phone back.
I think she gets it tomorrow.
Okay, yeah, I'm sitting in on that, waiting on that, and then. I don't know
why they wait 2 days. That's a really, really weird rule, but they wait 2 days.
Yeah, I don't know. Because I even watched the first look for tonight with the babies and I
know it's just boring. It's all just so boring. I'm gonna watch because I have to, but
well, yeah, I was like, I'm still gonna watch it, but I've been I
would have already stopped.
I would have done DNF'd it a long time ago.
Yeah, so for real though.
But I'm hanging on. But lately, what I used to do, I have all my notes here, is I used to sit and but now I'm just I put it on in the background, listen for something.
Because it's boring.
Because
nothing interesting is happening. I don't care. I genuinely don't care. Other than Chris and Huda, everyone else is just a snooze fest to me.
I think the only thing that interesting that even happened was the hate to burst your bubble voting.
Oh, I know.
Which is kind of funny because so I wrote this they didn't know when we voted because if you think about it, they were picking their votes based on what had happened at the fire pit. At the was it the fire pit?
The what?
The fire. What happened? Something happened. Oh, what had happened at?
Oh, you mean stand on business?
Yes, that's what it was. Yes,
stand on business.
Yeah. So they were thinking, they're oh, America doesn't like so and so because of what I said at the fire pit. But it was just we had the votes for that. I voted for a couple of them. I didn't vote for all of them, but I voted or moved the people around. I did the one, I did the last one, and then I just kind of was yeah, you can go here, you can go, whatever. It's obviously you don't care. But it happened the day before the stand on business challenge. So they're all trying to put people in places based on what they thought happened at the stand on business. But I was we hadn't seen that yet when we voted. So I wish somebody would have told us. It was the whole time they're talking about, well, what about the fire pit thing? What about the fire pit? Or who said this to the fire pit? Or you said that at the fire pit, so you should go here. And well, based on what so-and-so said to so-and-so at the fire pit, I think they should go there. I'm like, we hadn't even seen that yet. So it was like kind of annoying. There's my
I don't really, honestly, I really don't know what this season is anymore. I feel like the producers are like 90% involved in this, like,
oh, yeah.
like so heavily, like what's being said and what's being shown.
What do we like throwing shit at the wall? What's gonna stick? What sounds fun? Let's have them all call each other out, which I thought was a good idea. I was like, you know what? This could be fun. This could be the stand on business.
Wait, no, the standing on business though, that did happen before the burster bubble. The burster bubble happened after.
It did, but the voting that we did for like the most genuine boyfriend material, the voting for that ended.
Oh yeah, they did that, but they did it on purpose though, because everyone was hating on Cierra, Chelley, and Olandria for being mean and like basically bullying the hell out of Huda. And then what happened to Amaya? That's why Amaya was number one that's why they did that on purpose. They wanted us to do it. And that's why Chelley and Olandria, well, maybe it's not so much Olandria anymore. Shelley's going to be real confused when she comes out the villa and sees like all the shit that she got. Because she lost followers. Olandria lost followers. They all did.
Because it's a hot mess express.
Jeremiah had 44 TikTok followers. 44 TikTok followers. He has 1.7 million now.
Get it? You know, I saw a video of him watching, like he was like a reaction thing, and I was like, you know, all of a sudden Jeremiah didn't seem so bad now. Like, you know, in the beginning we were like this guy, and now I'm like,
I just don't think he should have gone on the show. Like, I feel like he still has a lot of kind of growing to do as a person, because I feel like him shutting down on Huda and stuff like that, it wasn't Huda. It was him. He was the problem. She was the problem, but like he was also the problem. Like, you know, he didn't match like who she was, and you have to like do that.
She keeps trying to crash out now, and Chris is like.
What's so funny is Andrina came out and said a couple of things. One, she said, "Oh, Huda was slamming drawers and like doors and stuff for 5 minutes." Like, of course, the producers wouldn't show that. And someone's like, and this girl stood behind you, like, and you're still bad-mouthing her, blah, blah. But then someone's like, everyone's leaving comments regardless. She shouldn't have said that because that chick backed her. That was pretty dumb on Adrina's part. Yeah. But then she also said in a comment, like, oh, Jeremiah was most definitely not love bombing me. Rewind.
I did see that. Yeah.
On the stand business, you said he was love bombing you.
Well, she rolled her eyes. If you look, like, when Ace asked her, she rolled her eyes.
She still said, yeah, he's love bombing me. You should have stood on business and said, I didn't think he was love bombing me.
I agree. I think she was just kind of trying to like, I don't want to bring this up again.
Fake.
Like,
she just gives so fake to me.
That whole, so that bottom three voting to me, I think we came in to record right after we were you were still watching it when I started, but like I had only seen the girl
today.
My brain sometimes it like runs faster than the words, and then it's like I can't. Yeah. So
like when you were texting me drink, and you're like busy, like I'm getting a fucking drink. Like you were mad at the.
Because I was trying to say I'm gonna get a bevy. I was trying to be all whatever, and then it wouldn't, and then I was like, fuck it, I'm getting a drink.
I almost spit my drink out. That was so funny. I was dying. I was like, oh my god.
Oh gosh, it's fun sometimes. But I was so mad at the bottom three because they're like Jaden, and I was like, okay, and then they're like Grayson, Andrina, and I was like, what? To
be honest, it was who didn't get a lot of votes, and I'm assuming that they would have been just because of like that. There's not enough haters or whatever.
It was so like, and then TJ, and then Austin, and then I Austin was growing on. I don't know that Jaden was in him, but Austin was growing on me. It was just kind of like
they really needed like Love Island. You guys got to do better next season, otherwise, cut the show.
That's when I was
cut the show.
I'm done. Cut the tape. I'm done. I'm done. And Alandria was mad that Cierra stood behind Taylor. My girl stood behind Taylor. Like, your girl, my best friend. Like, you're over here macking on her boy. Just...
Oh, I know. She was pissed off. She's like, I can't believe that. I mean, to be honest with you, I couldn't believe that she stood behind him either. I'll be perfectly honest with you. I was like, you stood behind, like, whoa, not even Huda did that. That was crazy.
She was saying that the only reason that she did was because Taylor was Nick's best friend. And so like,
if you're a girl's girl, come on.
Yeah. It's a little hypocritical.
Like, I take if you're gonna be a girl's girl, then you need to. That wasn't a girl move. That was, I only care about Nick, and
I'm sure Nick, even though Nick probably would have been sad that Taylor. Well, clearly Taylor had all those votes anyway. But like, if something had happened, she would have been like, "Look, Olandria's my girl. Like, can't, I needed to." Who did she want her to stand behind anyway?
What?
Olandria? Who did Olandria stand behind?
Olandria stood behind Austin.
So weird.
No, they were like homies.
Okay. My sister. Is it the one that he was like a
bond? They had like a super friendship bond.
Super friends. Friendship Island. All right. I was wondering. I was like, yeah, this is all kind of like, I was just mad. This is bullshit. And everybody's flipping up on Amaya now. Not flip, but like Zach and
Brian.
Who's the other guy? Brian. Well, Brian, I knew that because Brian defended her, and like, so when they started talking, I was like, that made complete sense.
Elan.
But then Zach, who was it?
Elan.
That's right. That was weird to me. That was.
Oh my god. Because that reminds me.
What? Spill.
He's getting roasted online. Hang on, I think I have the saved video. So I will say he did something like not mannish when he came down the stairs. I'll say I look more like a dude coming down the stairs than he did. Let me show you. Hang on. I think I have it saved. Like I was dying.
You had told me he was bisexual. I think before
yeah, he's definitely that solidified.
Yeah, like before, I kind of had an inkling before when he suggested to Olandria that they should choreograph their heart rate challenge dance, and they were like,
yeah,
the way that they were.
Where is it? Okay, hang on. It is. Dun, 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 dun. I like so much workout stuff so that I don't get like sidetracked. Okay,
all right.
Ready?
Oh. Yes.
Because you didn't see last night's episode, so.
Oh, wait. And that's so funny because I saw a video about that and I didn't catch it. That's so funny.
Yeah, so like he comes down the stairs and like he's like swinging his. I don't want to say that it's like. Because I don't really feel like even girls do that. I do feel like, some of those men do that.
Yeah.
No shade. You guys do that. That's totally fine. I love my feminine gay men. They're the best. I used to have some best friends who were like that, but they do tend to do that when they're coming like down the doing down the stairs and stuff. Yeah, we're walking, and I really don't know what the T-Rex hands are like, because I don't get it, but everyone's like, that is so cringe, like, oh my god, that just gave me the ick, turn me off, blah blah. Personally, Elon's like not my type.
Mine neither. He's too groomed.
Yes. Yep. He's very
not a problem. I'm just not.
No, and not even that. He just looks so I don't want to say clean. That sounds like really weird to say.
Grim.
But he's
very grim.
It's too much. Like I need
Yeah.
a little bit of grunge. I don't like the entirely clean look at all whatsoever.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Nothing wrong.
So, but yeah, that just you reminded me of that when I said his name. I just instantly thought of him coming down the stairs that way, and I just started dying.
You know, to me, he was messy when it came to drunk because it's like snooping around when Amaya was talking to, I think it was Nick, on the couch, and he was like, "Oh, looking behind the pillows," and then he ran off and told Zach, like, "You gotta step it up."
Yeah.
But then, like, right after that,
for sure,
told him for a chat, like he was trying to be all like, "Well, I know that you're not in the, or like the road is rocky here, so let me do my thing here."
He's messy.
Yeah. So I was like, when the idea of him going after Maya, I was like, that is totally because you know that she's America's favorite, and you're just like trying to. Same with Zach with K. Like they kind of worked things out, but it was like all of a sudden she's America's favorite, and you're all like, oh, let's try this again. And so I'm so glad that she chose Brian because
I feel like Brian was very genuine.
Yes. And he genuinely was like, I, defended her in the Stand on Business challenge. Stand on Business. I keep saying Stand on Business challenge. And so I'm so glad that she picked him.
Yeah.
That was a good. But did you notice? So the crashing out challenge totally reminded me. I know we're going backwards, but it reminded me of those old Nickelodeon slime challenge. Mike watched that with me because he saw that people were getting knocked out on the doors. I was like, for once, I was like telling him, like, this is usually, there's two types of challenges we get in this show. We get these light, funny, fun challenges that break the monotony, or we get the drama ones. And I was like, it was just nice to see something like fun, funny. There was no pressure behind it. There was no like. It was fun. It was enjoyable, and
stupid gnat. Sorry, there's a gnat in here that's like irritating the crap out of me. Yeah, I feel like it was probably the best challenge that we've seen because it was just really so lighthearted and it was just like a challenge. It was fun, and you got the kissing that you were supposed to, and it just seemed very lighthearted. There was no like animosity, nothing.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I was laughing. I was definitely laughing. So, but do you know if Chelley and Ace closed off yet officially? Because I know that Chelley was like, "I'm done exploring."
Yeah, I think they did close off this past episode. Yeah. I don't really remember what was said because it was just like. She was just like, oh yeah, I really realized that like I want to be closed off, blah, blah, blah. I still am on the fence though. I really don't know if it's like I really don't know. I'll be honest with you because it wasn't like they said, yeah, let's close off because there was no celebration, there was no party, there was nothing.
Well, that's what like she had said that she was done exploring. She was like she made that little picnic on the pier. She said, "I'm done exploring," and then Ace was just like smile. I was like, but no,
I mean they didn't have like some celebration. I don't really think it's like they're closed. I mean they're closed off, but like not closed off.
Yeah, we're off. Yeah, I don't really have anything else.
Yeah, no, that's how boring these last episodes were.
I know. Where we were like fighting to keep them short in the beginning, and now it's like I'm fighting to get some kind of content.
No, I mean I got nothing else. I just want this to end because I'm just like really curious to see
next Sunday, Tuesday. We had this whole conversation, right? It's next Tuesday we get Beyond the Villa. And then, so it airs Tuesday, but then it's going to be airing on Sundays. So the first one's on Tuesday. I wonder if it's because Love Island was supposed to air on Sunday.
Probably. I don't know. But I just want this season to end. And I just want to see the aftermath after what happens because I'm just really curious about when everyone gets out of the villa, what's going to happen. That's all I care about actually at this point is seeing the aftermath of the chaos.
should
Huda
talk
by
about
far though has the most followers on TikTok. She's at 2 million.
Good. She deserves it.
People
Which
really rallied behind her when she was bullied.
and people are kind of mad that people are rooting for her all of a sudden because they're like,
So what? She was mean for 2 episodes. Like, damn, like relax.
I'm not condoning and being not friendly because or like pushing or like cheering her on because
No, but you could tell she grew. Like,
yeah,
she's
like,
very much
everybody makes
matured.
mistakes and she moved on from it, and I'm cheering on the fact that she moved on. She found somebody that matches her, and she's not calling anybody little bitches anymore, except for Andrea, who did. But yeah, so
Yeah. Other than that, I mean, there. Even when she was talking to Alandria, when they had that private conversation, and she was like, "That really hurt, bro. Like that hurt. I felt that so hard because that shit does hurt. When you have a bunch of people attacking you and nobody stands behind you. You didn't have one person that was in your corner." And I felt so bad. Like I literally felt her in that moment because I've been there in that situation, but that's big of her too. She didn't crash out. She was a mature adult and vented her feelings out correctly. Yeah. So I think people need, again, it's the cancel culture. People are not being like graceful anymore. Everyone wants to just like piggyback off of, it's like, why do you want that person to be that way? Like you should want people to grow. But again, I feel like that's a lot of healing, and that's a lot because I've gotten a lot that I'm like very emotionally intelligent, and I tell people, yeah, I might be this way, but it's because I've gone through a lot of very dark things that I don't wish on other people. So while I can understand and articulate how I feel and how I think somebody else might be feeling just based off my own experience, I really feel like people don't understand that what real trauma is because they have never experienced it. And that's what I always say to that's what I say about Kay, because he, other than losing his grandmother, which is obviously traumatic because he loved her, he's never had it hard. He's never been bullied. He's never experienced like actual trauma. Like I have PTSD, like and he doesn't understand that. He doesn't get why I have it. And even though I've explained it to him like 30 times, he doesn't get it, why my brain chemistry changed. But that's the thing though, is that people who have never experienced real trauma and don't understand that how she was acting was a trauma response, whether it be from childhood parents yelling at her, from whatever reason, she didn't know how to handle the situation well. And you don't until somebody tells you. And I feel like she really corrected herself. And, I feel bad for Cierra because I feel like she's going to get so much hate for something stupid that she said. And unfortunately, online follows you ever. No matter, even look at Yulissa, she's apologized like 30 times for saying it, said she shouldn't have said it. But she has to live it down. And that's what you're going to be known for, is the person that said this, the person that did this. And I'm very glad that people were rallying behind Huda, especially after she was bullied. Because like that showed me a little bit of growth in people that were watching the show, because it's like have a heart a little bit. But I really think people need to be easier on each other, because it's not okay that somebody can't make a mistake. Like this is the reason why people are fake. This is exactly why people present themselves in a not correct way, because they are so afraid to be rejected, instead of understanding that you should just be who you are. And the people that want to be around you will be around you. That's facts. Like, if they don't want to be around you, then they're not your people. That's
mind don't matter. Okay. Mind. Yeah, for sure. Like,
I don't need to have 30 friends. Those aren't friendships. Those are just acquaintances. You have, like 3 really good friends. And then other than that, everyone else is just an acquaintance. Like especially like as we get older, you really realize like the people who are there for you and the people that are not there for you. And I'll tell you this, I've lost like hundreds of people I thought were friends. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. It's like my bubble went from here to here.
Yep.
Especially with me having kids, it's like you start to really like who you. So I agree, but hopefully she comes out of it okay and can come and apologize and
Well, I hope everyone can apologize and like everyone in America can like move the hell on, because at this point, like it's kind of ridiculous that we're just like, I mean, even Austin was still getting harped on because he's a Trump supporter or whatever. And I'm just, and then he was in the comments, like, say he said something stupid too. You replied to a video and someone's like, you could tell he's not apologizing. No, because he's Republican. Like, why are you guys harping on something?
Yeah,
like, that's just who he is. That's what he believes in. Why can we not be different anymore? Why is it not okay to be different? Like, yeah, what happened to
that? I don't support him, but it's like, if you're not, like, there's extreme left and extreme right. If you're not, you know, Democrat or Republican, it's like sometimes it's like that's kind of, we don't really have, like, that's who the candidate was. So it's like, yeah, he's a felon. Yeah, he does stupid shit. But like, some people just don't like Democrats more than they don't like Trump, and vice versa. And
yeah, no, 100%. You're 1,000% right. That's just, I did something on camera. No, that's completely true. Like, that's just what it is. Some people are hardcore Republicans. Doesn't matter who's in office, they're going to vote Republican. Like, and like everyone needs to like step away from that type of stuff, because I just really feel like we're getting to a point where, damn, we're judging people off of anything that someone can be judged on, which is just insane to me, because it's like, let's look at somebody else's track record. We can go through yours and see how you do in life, because I can guarantee you said something stupid, you've done something stupid, you've burnt somebody, you've talked behind someone's back. Everybody has done the same thing, and we all need to hold each other to the same standard, because like, even people who praise God do the wrong thing sometimes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? People who are so devout, everyone lies. Everyone lies. Everyone does something stupid that they shouldn't do, because we're human. Like, can we please be human beings again? Because I feel like it's so hard to even just be a normal person nowadays, no matter what you're into, no matter what you do, who you like, who you get, you know, whatever. No one's normal anymore. We can't be normal. We're so judged for being normal. And I literally can't stand it. Half the time I hate going to social media, because it's just like, you know, everyone's talking about ICE or everyone's talking about the presidency. I'm like, I don't care. What happened to the cute dog videos and the cat videos that I like to watch, and the bird?
People are blaming Trump for the flooding hearing, the Hill sentences. Yeah.
You're blaming him for a natural disaster?
Yeah. See, that like that he messed with the warnings, or like, yeah, I was like, okay, unless
he
we're
totally
here,
dropped a cloud on you guys. Like, he
well, then you got the people that say, what is that? Cloud, what's the name for it? Where they like oh, the reason that we have tornadoes is because they put the clouds in the sky, and I'm just like, are you serious? What? Yeah. So yeah. We got 23 inches of rain, and they're saying it was Trump's fault. Like,
that's so funny. That's so funny. Oh my god, yeah. I didn't know that. That's great. But see, that's what I mean. Like, nothing's normal anymore. We're trying to blame things on other people. It's like, no. Sometimes people are just stupid too. Like, like someone says something stupid, like, whoops, like, my bad, I said something I shouldn't have. That's life, man.
Like, back to like when we were kids, like if we said something stupid or we did something, it's like we're corrected in the moment, kind of, by the one person.
We did. We were like, oh, that's not cool.
Oh, I shouldn't have said that. That's offensive. You move on. Whereas now it's like everything is blasted.
Like, we did say that too. Like, if we were offended, we were like, oh, that wasn't cool to say, and you're like, oh my
god, that wasn't cool. Yeah. Exactly. And then you learn and you move on, you don't do someone else. But it's like, now these people have to do this to millions of people. And
well, God, I mean, now it's also too with like the, you know, the misgendering too. It's like, I don't care who you love, who you want to be and stuff like that. But it's like, I know like some people are getting like into it, like online, because they're like going to restaurants and doing it or whatever. And then like leaving and like trying to get free. It's like,
oh yeah,
there are like a small percentage of people that are just ruining all of these things, and it's like, in the big scheme of things, we don't care. Like, nobody actually cares what you want to do with your life. Do whatever you want to do with it. But then there's hyper thing. Either you want to be like a super hater of it, and you know, and I know that religion, that's, you know, frowned upon, that, you know, you're not supposed to do that type of stuff, but it's like,
Yeah.
and to like, I'm bisexual. I like men and women, but it's one of those things where it's like, God, like I don't even want to say that anymore, because then it's like, oh well, then are you a part of like LG? You know, no, I'm not a part of anything.
Everybody wants to put everybody in a box.
Yeah, I'm like, no, I don't want to be in a box. Okay, like I want to just be who I want. I want to just be who I want to be, and I should be able to do that without feeling like I need to be put in this, you know, cube with like other people. You know what I mean? And it's
or like labeled, but it's like,
yeah, I don't want to be labeled.
Hurting anybody.
I'm already labeled damaged goods. I had someone tell me I was damaged goods because I was a single mom with 2 baby daddies, which if you think that I am a 34-year-old who wanted 2 baby daddies, you're tripping. You're absolutely tripping if you think I wanted that. And I laughed because I'm like, first of all, I'm not damaged. I get hit on a lot. Like I'm not in any way, shape, or form like hurting. But
regardless,
it's funny to me,
you're not damaged.
well, you know, but it's funny to me. It's like, that's how much hate there is in the world. Like you all want to just pick apart what other people, you have no idea what happened in my circumstance. So for you to say that I'm damaged because I have 2 kids, and yes, they're not by the same father, is crazy to me. I mean, I'm not saying, yes, if you have like 5 baby daddies, you might be the problem. But you know, like maybe just a little bit might be the problem. But that's what I'm trying to say, is everyone's trying to like, everyone's labeling everybody. It's like, what happened to like when we were kids? If people were gay, they were gay. If you know, if they wanted to do drag, they did drag. Like I loved going to drag shows. You know, no one cared. I feel like it's gotten so
like, you're not anybody, let them be. Like they're not like, physically harming somebody. Let them be. Who cares?
Yeah, as long as someone's not beating the crap out of somebody else, yeah, then absolutely. But that everything else is just getting taken too seriously now. It's not okay to just be who you are anymore. You got to be somebody else. You got to be fake. You got to put on this facade, and you know, and this, you know, I do agree with the makeup and the catfishing for sure. Though some of those girls with makeup, I'm like, like your whole face shaped.
When they take it off, and it's like, yeah,
it's impressive. Don't get me wrong. Like my jaw is gone. It's gone. When some of those people do the contouring, I'm like, holy shit! But I don't have the patience for that at all whatsoever. No, thank you.
No, I don't want to take it all off and wash my face. Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I mean. I just hate it because I feel like nobody can be anyone. They can't. And I feel like I was so judged growing up as the black sheep in my family, and I always did everything wrong. And coming from that and like being in the place I'm in now, knowing how secure of a person I am, I hate it that we're kind of like reversing all the way back.
Yeah.
And just doing a bunch of damage that I don't really even think people are realizing.
It's just so, because social media, it's like everything's so transparent now. There's nothing to buffer anymore.
Yeah. I remember there was a kid. Did
you get it?
No, these stupid things are bad. I remember there was a kid in our class, and I remember he wore a dress and heels one day to school. Or he was in my grade.
Yeah.
And they made him take it off. I was like, why? He's not like harming anybody. Like, who cares? You know what I mean? But that's where I feel like, bastard. That's where I feel like we've gotten away from being, everybody wants to cancel somebody. Everyone wants to just hate on somebody else. And it's like, man, I really wish social media was never invented. Like, I loved MySpace and everything, but I almost wish we didn't even have MySpace, because I really don't think it would have evolved into Facebook and then Instagram.
Or whatever. Then that's when you were like, yeah.
Yeah, that's when it started to get. But that's what I mean. It just, I hate it because people who like are real and, you know, who want to just like be themselves can't be themselves anymore, because it's like they're just criticized so heavily on who they are, you know. That's just me though.
So, well, do you have anything else you want to add for Love Island? Friendship Island?
I know I went off on a rant there. My bad.
No, you're fine. Good. We got a platform. Like, yeah, I'm not bothering me.
No, I know. I feel bad because they're so young. That's why I feel bad. They're young. These are like young 20-year-olds that all this stuff is affecting them, and it's not fair. It really isn't.
It's not, and hopefully they have a good support system to get them through it. And then just, I don't know. This season has been very interesting with all of the outside influence. Inside influence. Just, I wonder if they're gonna do it again next year. How they're gonna go about it? Like, if they're gonna change anything next year? If they're gonna.
Well, I think the Australia one is supposed to be on in a few months. So,
I did see a funny video about somebody on the UK Love Island, and they were like playing that song from Hamilton, "The King, You'll Be Back," and they were like referring to this like. You guys, remember you belong to me. Like, yeah.
I heard the UK one that was like diabolical. Like they're crazy over there.
I had such a hard. I think I mentioned this before. I've had such a hard time with their accents, though. And it was just like
because they talk really fast,
and they are so all different. And it was just the slang. I mean, Zach with the K was just a little small glimpse into that, so it was like hard to watch.
I like the Australia one better. I can understand them, and they don't talk very fast.
I never watched the Australian one. I should check that one out.
Well, the last season was really good of the Australia one.
Australia, mate. Sorry, that was bad.
That was terrible. Yes, I agree with that. That was not. I don't even know. That wasn't even an accent. He just said that in a regular voice. Australia, mate.
Australia, mate. Yeah, no, that was bad. All right. Well, if you don't have anything else, then I'm going to say that's it. And our time in the villa is up.
Yeah.
So if you liked it, make sure to follow, subscribe, and share if you like the vibes. Check us out on Instagram. I've been posting as much as I can with that. Those videos are thick. But sometimes it's like keep Instagram open while your video is uploading. And I'm like, I'm sitting here for 10 minutes. Don't close on me. Don't close on me.
Let's go. Go on.
All right. Well, we'll catch you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Hold on. Sorry.
Gave her a bite from reality to spilling the tea. Seriously, like, what the fudge? She's got no credentials. She doesn't even go to this school. Is no one serious